Dewi, udah jelas?
All right. Hi, everyone. We're back. And once again, welcome to the second day of Second Digital Media and Publishing Summit. So we already have Mas Fik Wibowo, CEO Alpha Beta, and we already have Mas Muhammad Rifki, Head of Publisher Development Indonesia and Malaysia. And for the next session, we have panel discussion session. We're going to talk about strategic partnerships in the digital age. And we have 3 panelists here. So before we begin, I want to introduce you our panelists in the panel discussion. First, we have Ibu Agustine Gunawan. Ibu Agustine Gunawan is a Vice President Partnerships, Alodokter Indonesia. She graduated from Tarumanegara University, majoring in finance in 1994, and Monash University, Australia, majoring in Master of Business Administration in 2001. Her career journey started as auditor for 1.5 years in public accountant. Afterwards, she embarked her career into management level in finance as corporate treasurer in AT&T, an American-based telecommunication company in Indonesia. In year 2000, she enhanced further study in Australia, Monash University Business School, took a major degree in business administration. In 2001, she appointed by Roche Diagnostic Indonesia as supply chain manager, marketing divisions, and for 16 years above, held most of roles in top management business development, sales marketing, and PR. Very interesting. Welcome, Ibu Agustine. Saya akan perkenalkan panelis berikutnya. Next panelist, we have Mbak Dewi Wirawan, Head of Strategic Partnerships, Lazada Indonesia. Mbak Dewi has 7 years of e-commerce industry experience from category management to strategic partnerships to support digitalization, both companies and individuals. She is passionate about digital industries and investments. And beside her role in e-commerce, Dewi is an educator and mentor in the society. Oh, hi, welcome to Mbak Dewi. And then the third panelist, we have Niranjan Singh. Pak Niranjan, as a business head, PNG MediaCom Indonesia. Pak Niranjan Singh is currently working with MediaCom Group M Indonesia as business lead PNG. He has been in the media industry for over 15 years in various roles in the strategic media planning and buying domain. He has worked across India, Vietnam, and Indonesia. He has worked across leading FMCG brands, including and not limited to P&G, GSK, Heinz, Friesland Campina, Colgate Palmolive, to name a few. Oh, very interesting. So that's all our panelists for the panel discussions today. And yeah, I want to say hello to our panelists. Hello, good morning. Selamat pagi Pak Niranjan, selamat pagi Bu Agustine, dan selamat pagi Mbak Dewi.
Hello, good morning to you. Nice opening and to all. Yeah, glad to be here.
Yes, thank you very much. I'm Melissa Lolindu and I'm happy to be here too. Ibu Agustine, Mbak Dewi, dan Pak Niranjan. Apakah sudah siap?
Siap.
Selamat pagi.
Selamat pagi. Oke, semuanya baik-baik ya?
Yap, baik juga.
Baik juga. Very good. Okay, so the screen is yours. All panelists, we're going to talk about the strategic partnerships in the digital age. Let's start.
Okay, makasih banyak, Mbak, for a great introduction. So, good morning, everyone. Selamat pagi. in this section, we will be covering strategic partnerships in the digital age. And to discuss on this topic, we have Agustine from Alodokter, who's working as Vice President Partnerships. And then we have Ibu Devi Wirawan, who's Head of Strategic Partnerships and Affiliates from Lazada Group. And I'm Niranjan Singh, and you received the brief intro from earlier. So I work at MediaCom Group M, and Group M is a leading media agency in Indonesia as well as globally. And especially in Indonesia and Southeast Asia, we plan and buy offline as well as online media for our partners. And it's including FTA in digital. We do programmatic buying implementation. We are also into e-com shop-in-shop optimization. So end-to-end solution is what we provide to our partners. And in Indonesia at the moment, as an agency, we buy more than 40% of all the media that is sold in Indonesia right now. So before we begin, I believe most of you must have attended yesterday's session where the esteemed panelists and speakers took you through the latest media trends as well as how digital adoption has rapidly grown across Southeast Asia and especially in Indonesia. I mean, there were discussions around how data and AI have become mainstream and must have for all the advertisers. And moving beyond all of this, the world of metaverse, I think it was quite an interesting session earlier, and definitely a great learning session for all of us. And I'm very sure most of you must have heard about how China also recently tested 6G in a lab environment, wherein the internet speed was as high as 200 GB per second. And believe it or not, right now I just had to run from my home to office because my internet, which is 14 GB, was not working properly. So here I am in office. So yeah, I mean, we have witnessed how various trends are now part of our daily life, and be it e-commerce, OTT players, we are watching shows on, be it video, Netflix, Disney Plus, social media, and many such digital aspects have become a very intricate part of our lives. And in all these changes, if you see, media agencies have also gone through a sea of change in the way we are structured, as well as the way we approach any business challenge that we receive from our clients, that is, advertisers who we work with on a daily basis. And this has happened across the industry. Although we are going to capture, primarily the advertising aspect of these partnerships over the next 40 odd minutes, there are various opportunities that actually exist, including UX, UI, database management, etc. So moving to very advertiser specific requests that we, being the agency partner, come across varies. So sometimes they would ask for quality media inventory. They would look for segmented audiences, meaningful first party data sharing, and sometimes we also provide opportunities to our advertisers with common consumers to run co-branded partnerships. So now, depending upon the client's needs, a lot of these partnerships that we are part of are long-term, so-called JBPs, joint business plans, and these are primarily done with leading publishers where we help funnel large advertising budgets, given that's where our consumers are. So moving on, before we address some of the burning questions, let's hear from Ibu Agustine.
Thank you, Naranjan, for a lovely introduction and the opening. Yeah. May I introduce myself? Yeah, my name is Agustine. I'm a VP Partnership of Alodokter. And then I can have a short brief introduction about Alodokter. Alodokter is specifically dedicated for a health tech platform in Indonesia. Actually, we are the biggest platform in Indonesia. Why? Because at the moment we do have a more than 36 million active users, monthly active users, and then we have two digital group, basically digital platform, basically that comprising users, direct user meaning non-healthcare professional to Alodokter to healthcare professional, as well as between healthcare professional called Alomedica. So basically, in terms of rating, we are in the Alexa rank rating as well as similar web.com rating. We are the highest in Indonesia as well as in the world. We are very dedicated to cater as well as to maintain our health tech platform aligned with the current regulation, especially Indonesian regulation. In fact, at the moment, we already aim for a data protection security certification. The name is ISO 27001. I think all the most industry know about that. For that is to make secure data protection of the users. So that is a bit about Alodokter. I hope it helps to make people understand about us. Thank you.
Okay. Bu Dewi, do you want to take the stage?
Yes, thank you, Niranjan and Bu Agustine. Lovely to meet you guys here. Kindly, I introduce myself. I'm Dewi. Currently, I'm leading strategic partnerships in Lazada Indonesia. Lazada short brief about Lazada Indonesia. So Lazada Indonesia is one of the leading Southeast Asian e-commerce. Our mission is basically to accelerate progress in Southeast Asia through commerce and technology. So basically, what we do is, especially on strategic partnership and affiliate side, we're actually supporting both companies and individuals to digitalize and support both business objectives. So in short, maybe deeper on what we are doing is basically in terms of strategic partnership ends, we are actually supporting various types of partners. So we are supporting associations, we are supporting banking, telcos, OEMs, and other companies related to e-commerce, including also some brands and sellers as well. On the other hand, on the affiliate side that we're focusing on, we are also developing this affiliate partnership. So therefore, I think the ones that also joining on these events are mostly coming from advertising networks, high traffic apps, and other tech-related companies, including communities as well, and also influencers. So we are also supporting our affiliate partners through affiliate partnerships. Yeah, I think that's a short introduction of me and Lazada itself. So I think in terms of the first question, we have three questions today. So I think in terms of the first question, how organizations drive partner strategies in the digital age. So I think in terms of my point of view, the key of strategic partnerships is basically to have mutual benefits, right? So I think with the various changing trends, and I think yesterday we've learned about like the social commerce and live streaming trend this year and upcoming years, and also the O2O or physical digital experience. And the other one is the personalization end. So those with those three key trends that we are facing, I think not only in Indonesia but also I think Southeast Asia and globally, the key of driving partner strategies is regardless on which industries that we're having or actually you're having, it's to leverage technology It's either you build or you partner with any type of technology partners to generate longer term benefits. Yeah, that's my point of view. Maybe I hand over to Bu Agustine to share your view
Okay.
on this. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Bu Dewi, for the handover. So basically, to answer number one, how organization drive partner strategy in the digital age? Yeah, I think it's aligned actually in general with Bu Dewi answer. Yeah. So basically, partners, especially as the FMCG and other manufacturing product manufacturer, they are specialized in what they best do, meaning they manufacture, they selling the things. But regarding the digital campaign, of course, rather than build their own expertise and then platform, of course, they need to collaborate with other platform. For the Alodokter, basically what they're looking is for to affirming their healthy brands, a healthy conscience brand in the Indonesian market. They are using us? Because we are not advertising things that are not medically aligned with medical proven facts. We can say like this. Let's say once of the brand, let's say maybe all of you know about digital cigarette, right? Because there is no proven medical journal about whether the digital cigarette is healthier than the cigarette itself. Then we cannot we at the moment not advertising, or we are not collaborating with this kind of product. Why? Because we want that all the advertiser goes to ours is really proven to be a healthy conscience product. So that is our how we drive our partner strategy. In terms of the tools and then the campaigns tool, of course, digital is can using any kind of things, yeah, like live streaming, like live chat, as well as chat with doctor, as well how to combine between the product with the package of the voucher of the teleconsultation, as well as some of the product also relates to the professional doctor. We do have our own platform called Medica that make communication direct between the product, like pharmaceutical as well as non-pharmaceutical things to the doctor. So that is our strategy, how to alleviate, how to drive partner strategy in digital age. I hope it clear enough my explanation. Thank you.
Nice. Very interesting, Bu Devi and Bu Augustine. And I think this reminds me of some of the work we as an agency partner did back in Vietnam, especially on with Alodokter Bu. So this was related to Friso, wherein we wanted to, tie up for first-party data, and also we were looking for platforms where we could advertise for Friso at that point in time. And we need to have common goals and common objective in mind before we approach any partners per se. Now, similar to what you said, like at agency side, what we do is we at the end of the day we are looking for consumers who are on the digital space and what they are doing, how are they spending time. And given that there are efficiencies and effectiveness that are kept in mind for any of our advertiser campaigns. So that's the core of any partnership we look at. And what we do is we run different sorts of test and learn on any publisher, be it if we have to run an e-com campaign on Lazada, or if we are looking for first party audiences who are on Alodokter for that matter. And once we run these test and learn, and these test and learn campaigns become an integrated part of our regular campaigns once we see the business outcomes as well. So so at the end of the day, it's all about having common compliances as well in mind, and how exactly it helps advertisers to deliver business outcome.
Yeah.
So should we move on to question number 2? So the question we have is, with the disruption of global pandemic, is there an appropriate approach that leads to the most successful partnership? Do you want to go ahead, Bu Agustine?
Yes, thank you, Niranjan. Because actually it really relates, yeah, with the health tech platform. I don't know with Lazada, but I think Lazada have also different strategy regarding pandemic situation. So actually with the pandemic situation, I think that is what we call it the golden windows for all digital health in Indonesia, especially. Why? Because like people are more seeking to the more health information. If the health information are to be favorite or to be seek for the reliable information, so that's why advertiser in this regard having some more benefit too, right? uh, and then if the question is how the disruption of pandemic leads to successful partnership, of course, like more and more healthy or sanitized product or profit related product are seeking for this kind of platform to be as a base of a campaign platform. So besides, there is also like link to the like article content and then all the related content, live content, a webinar especially between professional because they cannot see offline, they cannot see face to face. So they are using a lot of our webinar platform to be as a media to gather and then to update the continuous medical education between professional healthcare worker. So basically, like it is like a mutual benefit, not just for the Alodokter as well as for the advertiser. Like all our partners, like big pharmaceutical company like GSK, Pfizer, are using our platform to do this kind of activity, whether it is ethical, whether it is like a mass information campaign, all together in this kind of platform really bring a good wave from the pandemic. Yes, back to you, Niranjan and Dewi. I think it's Dewi now. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Agustine. I think it's very relevant to have more to leverage some of the tech that is actually it used to be provided, but um, before the pandemic, it's more of like one option. But after when the pandemic hits, it's more into like it's a must because everyone couldn't do things offline as usual back then. And then from my point of view, in terms of the disruption of the global pandemic, of course, the main things that change is basically how we do things in general. So how we, for example, if we are from the leading organizations and from the how we do things and get more impact, it's more on the online side. So for example, the ones that we are focusing on, and also what we did to support the partners during the pandemic side. Back then, we are exploring. The issue was more into uh, how to support the economic in Indonesia in the last year, beginning of last year, right after the pandemic. So back then, we discussed with several parties, and then back then we explore with associations and also malls to onboard the sellers and make sure they're having a good at least income, and the survival it's more supported because back then the issue was more into like no offline activity, therefore the economic was down in general. So therefore, that's actually the right impact during the global pandemic. And then the approach that we're supporting on is basically we're enabling them to get online traffic through Lazada platform and other Lazada partners as well, such as bankings and so on and so forth. So that's something that one of the examples that we did to support the pandemic back then. On the other hand, I think the key is more into like agile. So agile means like in anything like before pandemic, maybe from one project to another, it takes a longer time. But with the pandemic and fast changing trends, I think the helpful and useful approach is agile approach. Yeah, I think that's from my end. Back to you, Niranjan.
Okay, there was very interesting take, Devi as well as Bu Augustine, and I think this pandemic has definitely taught us one thing for sure, that is agility, and that can be seen across business functions, even at advertisers end as well. And to just give you perspective, it is being said that the digital transformation and adoption that we have seen in the last 2 years was actually supposed to happen over a period of 7 to 10 years. So agility has definitely, be one key aspect of partnership during pandemic. But just adding on to this, and what really struck me, what Ibu Augustine mentioned, was the ethical part of all these partnerships. And I think this is, this as a basic fabric doesn't change overnight, right? So I mean, trust, honesty, and transparency continue to be the core of any partnerships. I mean, moreover, advertisers consider us media agency partners as an extended team, and that shows faith in what we do and impacts long-term plans and goals. And clear expectations actually helps everyone to remain objective. I mean, if we talk about the campaigns which we run, and like I mentioned, running a test and learn campaign, about 70% of these test and learn campaigns fail. And what we need to learn is be ready to fail and learn from these failures. And given the agility, of course there would be chances where there would be success rate, and there would be times where we won't be successful. So that as a learning we must take ahead, and have a clear outcome based targets, and continue to filter out what doesn't work for you and your advertisers. So moving on to the most interesting part of this conversation. So how do strategic partnerships are shaping up in today's business, shaping today's business models? Budevi, do you want to go ahead?
Yes, thank you, Niranjan. Yeah, in my point of view on the question number 3, how strategic partnerships are shaping today's business model. I think from my point of view, looking at the digitalization and the rapid growth of the data, learnings, personalization, and so on and so forth, I think the key of things that we would see and business to approach and adopt on is actually the key is actually to partner, because I think offline wise, before the pandemic, most of the things to run a business, it's more lesser rather than when we go digital. So like take taken an example. So if we open a shop offline back then before the digital era, So what we need is basically like a space and then sourcing the products and so on and so forth. But that's more on focusing on the offline presence. And then compared to now, if we do digital advertising, it's not like a space or like opening a branch like offline. It's more into like, okay, this is the place and we know like the places. But now as we do if we go digital, so the areas or the touch points or the equipments, I would say, to scale, it's way more than the previous way of working. So with that aspect, so we can see that by partnering, the things that we couldn't really do back then traditionally, we can have more impact, or the goals are more we'll have a higher outcome if we are partnering with the experts. Saying, for example, like with Group M or like Niranjan's scope today, from our point of view, it's one of the rising partnership support needs, because as like retail brands and the other partners that needs like PNG to support as well to scale will be more important, as we know our part with a lot of partners benefits and actually support will help both a partnership have more impact, and therefore the business model, it's more into like connected and in tech and partnerships. And then from here, I would hand over to Bu Agustine.
Yeah, thank you, Bu Dewi. So basically, regarding the question how strategic partnership are shaping today's business model, of course, from the wording is step strategic partnership, meaning we with the partner with the clients is not just between is not just a selling transaction only, yeah. But first we understand what is traditional campaign they do, and then what is the expectation they do from the digital partnership, especially in their campaign of their product and services, and then to give them understanding what is the difference between digital and non-digital, of course, because like certain benefit come out from the digital, and then there is always plus and pro and cons with the traditional campaign with the online campaign. But coming to the understanding to the facts that right now are all millennials are to be in tap with millennials up generation through the digital, of course they are seeing more the pro rather than the cons. And then to understand the way it is work in the digital campaign and advertising, and then how it works, then how to to bridging their expectation, their communication to be conveyed with their audience in this kind of platform. So basically we are have we must have understanding first about client needs, about client product and service, and then how to communicate it to become a successful business model in the digital in a digital platform. So basically, yeah, is like this is like not just okay putting advertising, putting what kind of product they want to put, but rather we are advising which one are more successful than the others, depends on the product and the services nature itself. So I hope that helps the answer, yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Bu Augustine. Thank you, Bu Devi. So I believe this summarizes, right, how everything has fast tracked when it comes to digital adoption, especially during the due to the pandemic. And just to give you perspective, it is important to be very very objective, and what business result is you are expecting. And few things that definitely works basis our experiences, that we must have clear understanding of complementary services that you're going to get in return. So it could be anything. I mean, when it comes to advertisers, they look for quality inventory. You would want to set out outcome based KPIs, etc. So that has to be kept in mind from media planning and buying perspective. And there should be a right framework as well in place to evaluate any partnership. You don't want any last minute surprises. So I think that it helps, like what Bu Devi and Bu Augustine mentioned, that there has to be ethical partnership and understanding of what complementary skills and services you are looking for. And at the same time, it should match with the organization's values and vision. And if it doesn't match, then we are looking for trouble. Okay, so Bu Augustine, do you want to go ahead and summarize?
Yeah, thank you, Niranjan, for such for such a sharp summary. So basically, partnership in the digital world at the moment, are more goes to the embracing communication, better communication. Yeah, of course, better KPI because it is measurable, of course, and then more targeted to all of the clients, as well as the users that they want to target with, to aim with, and then very targeted communication. In terms of health tech, especially, we aim to be more ethical communication, because what we are campaigning is like health and health conscience product and services. It is really very delicate matters. We don't want to misdirect people about this, because health is really important, I think, for everybody, especially during this pandemic. So that's why once we build a strategic partnership with all the brands, of course, first there is much discussion about what could be aimed and then cannot be delivered with this kind of digital communication. So we have to be open in the first time about expectation, so cannot have a last minute surprises. Okay, so I think this is my summary. Thank you.
Thank you, Niranjan and Bu Agustin, for the summary. I think it summarizes most of all the necessary things that all of us will be facing, and also that we need to think and aware about. From my point of view, if I may add to the points here, I think in summary, strategic partnerships in the digital age on the e-commerce side, I think since we're focusing on the customer first, we need to be agile on the needs of the customers, and that would trickle down on what we require to enhance internally, or we need to partner with other partners. So through that, in summary, we see that actually the strategic partnerships in the digital age, it's more on like how we really understand about and aware where our scope is going, and if what are the supports needed to enable us digitally. I think that's all from my end. Back to you, Niranjan.
Okay, I think that's a clear summary from Bu Augustine and Bu Devi. Just to add one more point on this is one of the most important things, and I would say the most important thing is that ensure that any partnership you go ahead with has the right framework to comply with set regulations, and share the information that you need to. And if you're sharing anything that comes under regulation, be it first party data or anything, ensure that all the policies, procedures, and compliance are in
Yes.
place.
Yes.
So that's it from our end. And if anybody has any question, please feel free to share.
I think we are unable to see any questions. So if there are further questions, would need I think Melissa's support on this.
Yes, yes. Wow, thank you very much for the panel discussions. Thank you so much Ibu Agustine, Mbak Dewi, dan juga Pak Niranjan for the panel discussion. We talked about the the strategic partnerships in the digital age. Thank you so much. And yes, for all participants who have questions, you can join the lounge and you can enter the speakers networking table, or you can use the question and answers feature here. Just check it out. So yeah, you can give your questions to all the speakers here. Once again, thank you so much. Stay healthy. Pak Niranjan, Ibu Agustine, dan juga Mbak Dewi. Let's moving to the next session.